Interest rates are rising to 1% by this time next year. Hey, what's up guys? Hope you're all well. So were anything like me, you were watching to see if the interest rates were going to be put up by the Bank of England. And it isn't because I thought that they were going to go up massively. It was just to see if this was the start, an indication of the start of things to come. And even though they didn't go up, they still remain at a record low. There was some really interesting observations to take from the whole episode. One is the vote. So it was voted 7-2. So basically 2 of the individuals voted to put the interest rates up to 0.25%. And then the other 7 individuals voted to keep it the same. And the main reasons cutting through all of the noise was because they needed to wait and see the fallout, the ripple effect of when the furlough does come to an end. And at the moment, there's still about 1 million people on furlough. So they kind of want to see what impact it does have on the economy. But this is kind of a contradiction to some of the other points that they made, because inflation is climbing rapidly, but it isn't because of the interest rates. It's because of the supply and the demand. I think one of the comments, and I quote, was putting the interest rates up isn't going to create more gas. There's a bit of a bottleneck with supply at the moment. We haven't really started to see the true impact of record low interest rates for such a long time on inflation, because it's being artificially inflated, a little bit like the property market with the stamp duty holiday. But as things start to get back to normal, hopefully we will start to see the inflation number reduced. Now, do I think that we're going to see prices go back to pre-pandemic in the building trade? Absolutely not. I do think that larger prices are here to stay. They're just not going to continue to creep up as they have done so quickly. So I think when we will start to see the start of interest rate rises when the furlough stops and this supply and demand issue does start to get more under control. I don't really think the furlough will then bleed into more unemployed, because one of the bottleneck issues, one of the biggest causes for the current inflation is not enough staff. Take the UK. We are trying to get back into the main swing of things, back to normality. And there is much more demand because everyone's playing catch up and everyone's trying to earn what they lost over the last 18 months to 2 years. And with that becomes a massive demand for labour, skilled labour, building trades, all of these different things, lorry drivers. And there's just a shortage. I myself am finding myself climbing around, scratching around, ringing around for good ground workers because everyone is just so busy. And with lots of work and everyone being so busy, we tend to find lots and lots of new roles being created within some businesses. So I do not think that we are going to have a massive falling off the edge of a cliff unemployment figure, which is going to massively impact the economy. It's going to literally come to an end. Furlough's literally going to come to an end, and the employment rate isn't going to drop much. We're going to see lots of different people going into new trades, learning new skills, which overall will be better for the inflation issue that we have. So parking inflation just for a second, one of the main takeouts that I took from the comments from the governor of the Bank of England was that he said we are not going to see pre-2008 crisis interest rates for the foreseeable future. So what that means is when interest rates do start to rise, we are talking about minuscule rates of interest climbs, 0.25 at a time. And my prediction is that this time next year, approaching Christmas, the Halloween period, interest rates will be hitting 1%. And I do think that's the latest it's going to happen. If we start to recover much more quicker than what's now being predicted, and we have a really good post-Christmas and start to the holiday season, UK staycations, I do think that interest rate climb is going to happen much sooner than that. But when it gets to 1%, I don't think we're going to see it change for some time, much more than that. We may see a little bit of an increase to 1.25, 1.5, but that is about it. I do think that for decades to come, we are not going to see interest rates rise beyond that point, because the Balancing Act is now so crucial to keeping the property market booming, to keeping people buying, and to keep builders building, which in turn means we need more first-time buyers. And even though property prices are slowing down, the gap between first-time buyers and being able to afford a new home is just such a stretch. And it really doesn't matter how many incentives and how many benefits the government throw at these first-time buyers. 95% mortgages, help to buy, cash ISAs, all of these different things, no stamp duty, whatever. When you have a very large purchase price versus wages, the interest rates are such a crucial consideration for everyone along that chain. And if interest rates do get past that point of 1.5%, we're going to see a shift in mortgage products, which means that they will not absorb that large interest rate. They will start to pass it on. 1.5%, I think we're pretty safe in terms of mortgage products, because the products haven't really changed from when interest rates were at 1.5%. And the benefit of the interest reduction has really been felt by lenders who have got lots of customers on these fixed rate deals. I think it's like 6 million fixed rate deals in the market currently. So as interest rates slowly increase back up to that level, it's going to get absorbed. When they hit over that, we're going to see a shift in mortgage products. Now, I know what you're saying. There's a 95% government-backed scheme, which is relatively low interest rate for the loan to value. And I do get that. But not everyone is going to qualify for that. We are not going to be able to sustain a housing market for first-time buyers based on a government single product. There needs to be more products from banks and high street lenders. And that is all driven on the interest rate from the Bank of England. So that is why we are not going to see massive amounts of increasing over the next 5, 10, 15 years. And there is the comment from the current governor, where he has said they will never get back to pre-pandemic for the foreseeable future. Now, pre-pandemic was anything from 3 to 5%, take that what you will. But interest rates are here to stay at a relatively low rate compared to 10, 15 years ago. And that means for us, property investors, we can play a pretty safe bet on what is going to happen within the market nationally. And then you can filter that down to what's going to happen in your local market. And then you can slip between the cracks and try and find the opportunity. But look, there you have it. That's my prediction, 1% by this time next year. That's November 2022, if not sooner. I hope that gives everyone enough to hang their hat on to start really making some good plans for their portfolio and your own residential mortgage. But in my view, you should be fixing at a lower deal, but not worried too much, because the stretch test on your portfolio should be there at not 1%, not 2%, not 3%, like 5, 6%. That way, you are fully prepared for the worst case scenarios. Plan for the long term, take short term wins. That's it from me. Hope you found the content rich, and I'll catch you all on the next video.